Hello parents and welcome to Term 3, Week 2 at Toowoomba Grammar School. Today I'm with Dr Young, our Director of Studies, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up on the studies front. So Dr Young, first of all, tough year for the Year 12s. What are they looking forward to this term?
Oh, look, all credit to the 12s. They've put in a phenomenal effort this year. As they know, they've all had one assessment instrument reduced, so they've only had to do 2 internal assessments. But that in itself presents some challenges. They need to consider making sure they maintain their momentum. Some boys have still got a few summative assessment instruments to complete, but they need to be starting to gear up now for their external exams, and even if they are almost finished the content in some of their subjects, they need to keep going and focus on their revision and get those revision programs happening. We're starting our academic mentoring programs next week, so each boy will meet individually with his mentor, and during that time they will get a revised ATAR estimate. Now, the first ATAR estimate they received was based on Year 11 work. Now it's based on the 2 assessment instruments they've done through Year 12. That's more problematic in that there's fewer pieces of data going into that estimate, and that estimate really is just a trial program. So at this point, we'll give the boys a broad range. We might say something like it's in the 50s or in the 70s, or they're in the high 70s or 80s, just to give them some sort of indication of how they're tracking. And that's the opportunity for the boy to discuss with his mentor any concerns he might be having about any subjects, ask for tips about study skills and that sort of thing.
And if a boy goes home, a Year 12 boy goes home and they're worried about their predicted ATAR, they register their concerns, I suppose, with their parents, what would you suggest that would be good for parents to do at home?
I would think that if it's about looking at tertiary options, make an appointment to discuss it with the careers advisors, either Mrs Nottle or Mrs McElroy, and they can start looking at various course options for it. If he's not looking at an ATAR, that may get him into the sorts of courses that he's currently thinking about. But what we want to do is focus on improving any ATAR outcomes. So starting to look at how the boy is applying himself in terms of his studies, start developing study planning time, and making sure that there's a lot of revision built into that. All boys should be on their revision path now, irrespective of where they are in their particular subjects and where they're up to with their content. There's a lot of work to be doing to get ready, and making sure that they're looking towards those external exams now. The last 2 weeks of this term we will have a mock exam period. Now that's an exam written by the QCAA for every subject, and we will do those under exam conditions, and that's the point at which teachers will really get some insight into how boys are performing on the sorts of questions the QCAA is likely to present to them during those external exams.
Fantastic. And of course teachers will mark those mock exams, won't they? And they'll give that feedback to the boys so they'll know where they're going well and where their deficiencies are? Absolutely.
Whether or not they get that feedback by the end of this term or at the start of next term depends on where in that mock exam period that particular subject's exam falls. But the boys will get individual feedback so that they'll get advice on what they ought to be doing to progress towards those final external exams.
Fantastic. And in the younger year levels, so I'm talking Year 10 and Year 8, they've got important subject selections coming up. What are the important things that parents need to know there?
In terms of subject selections, both Year 8 and 10 boys have already received the login information so that they can get that, go into the website and start choosing their subjects. I emailed all boys and parents the link to the general video talking about the process, but also on those videos are links to further information about all of the subjects. As well, I would refer boys to the curriculum handbook, which has got more information about each subject, but also to start talking to their teachers, start talking to boys they know doing these subjects, and doing their research so that they know that whatever they're selecting is going to be the best fit for them.
so important that they get that process right and give it a great deal of thought in terms of leading up to those due dates. So when are they due, their subject selections?
The year 10 boys need to get their forms into my office by the 14th of August and the year 8 boys by the 17th of August. So they've got plenty of time to get that done. They get it to their housemaster a week earlier, and that's where the housemaster can have a look and check over it and make sure that the boy's selections are appropriate for what he knows about the boy.
Very good. And you referred to the curriculum handbook. That's accessible through the school's website?
Absolutely. The students can access it through the student locker room as well as the parent cafe. It's available there.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Dr. Young. A reminder to all parents out there that during these COVID-19 times, if your son is ill, please keep him at home. Let us know at Student Services, and if he does have to go in for a COVID-19 test, can you please inform the school, just so that we can keep a register of those who are being tested. Thanks very much and have a good week.